Charlotte Miller Simon Poetry Contest celebration. And it really is a celebration of all of you. And a big, big thank you to all the Miller family for helping to make this possible. Jonathan Miller is Charlotte Miller Simon's son. And he has graciously, all of these years, shown his devotion to the library by helping us fund this beautiful event. Jonathan, would you like to say hello and introduce the members of your family?
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining. This is absolutely got to be the strangest poetry celebration in the world, especially at this moment, but it was nice of you all to come. First of all, I'd like to thank Jackie and Danielle and Jane and everybody else who was involved. Did a tremendous amount of work, particularly the judges, reading hundreds of poems. Jackie, maybe you could, in a little bit, you can just briefly say how many people entered and how many schools are involved, because we're just really thrilled that this has grown and continues to grow, and this is the 15th year. This, as you know, is in honor of my mother, for whom poetry was just a huge part of her life. She grew up and lived in a time when women did not have the voice that they have today, and so she expressed most of what she wanted to say and most of what she felt through her poems. There happens to be a book of her volumes in the Ardmore Library if anybody wants to look at it. But the most important thing, I think, is how happy she would be about this celebration and about the growth and the fact that people are still very much interested in writing and reading poetry. So thank you to you all. Thank you to all of you for participating. My son, Scott, is here, and he's going to read a poem that she wrote for her. My daughter, Elena, is somewhere in the grid, and my niece and nephew, I believe, and niece-in-law are here, Ira and Stella and Miriam and maybe Jim, and Charlotte, of course, is here with Matthew, my brother. Charlotte, can Charlotte be seen somewhere? Over here. Charlotte's going to come over and say hi. She was obviously named after my mom, and occasionally will write some poetry herself. And having said all that, I would like to introduce you to Scott Miller, Charlotte's grandson, and he will read a poem of hers before we proceed to the rest of the ceremony.
Okay, hi everybody.
Hi everybody, we're going to do it this way. Thank you very much. I'd like to say again to everyone who participated and everyone who is here. And without further ado, this is a poem that my grandmother wrote. Not in the lit radii of the stars, not in the green mist of moss, nor in bare branches tracing grace against the rain, not in Shakespeare's lines unlocking heaven's gate, nor in Bach's notes. I'm going to pause for the sirens. Okay. Nor in Bach's notes coupling their differences, but in you, formed of and forming all of these, the crowned ineffable.
Thank you, Scott. As you might be able to tell, my mother was always talking about and questioning God and the universe and why things happened, but she always had faith. So, having done that, Jackie, do you want to proceed?
Well, thank you so much, John and Scott and everyone else from the Miller family. I would also like to thank Jane Quinn, our library director, Danielle Adams, who is her right-hand, well, not person, lady, and she has been guiding Diane and I through this entire process. I would now like to also introduce Diane De Bonaventure, who is my trusty partner and has helped me in so many ways. Diane, how many poems do you think you read?
Oh, we read more than 400 poems. There was a lot of entries this year, more than last. And it was a lot of fun reading them. It was pretty diverse group of poems and contestants.
Yes.
Thank you for your efforts. We really appreciate it.
I also want to take this opportunity to thank our Board of Trustees who support this community effort and this project year after year. I also want to give out a special thanks to Maya Occhiogrosso because she wanted to have this Zoom presentation more than anything. And I am grateful that her mom reached out to us and really sort of set the wheels in motion. So thank you, my dear, and welcome. Diane, would you like to take it from here?
Sure. I have the pleasure of introducing our winners. As I said, we had a really wide range. I think our youngest winner was 7. Is that right, Jackie? So we're starting them early. I love it. I love the hard work. And I'm going to say probably 10 or 12 schools had sent poems, maybe more than that, maybe closer to 15. Public, private, from the sort of, Lower Merion mainline area.
Also Radnor and Haverford Township. So
right.
we were very well represented this year, and thank you to all the parents and the teachers who supported this effort. Thank you.
Right. So we're going to begin with the elementary school winners. I'll begin with our first place winner is Avner Bobian. I think I said that right, from Gladwin Elementary. And Avner is going to read The Wonders of Technology.
All right, thank you. The wonders of technology. From new tech we use nowadays to old tech we use in old ways. Try tablets, phones, or a computer, or just get a regular old tutor. Ben Franklin found power, and we use it every hour. Get a book and find words like schmoogle, or get a laptop and look on Google. You can read, write, sculpt, or draw. With too much tech, you'll make your brain raw. A PC, an Xbox, a PS4, and more, or paper and pen by a quiet seashore. On a bike or a sled or in a smart car, with new tech or old, you are your own star.
That was awesome. Thank you, Avner. Yeah, he can just give a little wave. Thanks. So awesome job. Our second place winner is Vivian Goldberg from Cheswold Elementary School. And Vivian's going to read Sweet Dreams.
I dance upon a high cloud. I sing in a big loud crowd. I fall asleep, a deep, deep sleep, and as I sleep, I dream. I dream of a vast meadow filled with flakes of snow. I fall asleep, a deep, deep sleep, and as I sleep, I dream. I dream of a starry night, making a wish on a star so bright. I fall asleep, a deep, deep sleep, and as I sleep, I dream. A melody, a symphony, a song of beep, 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 and now I know I better go and wake up from my deep, deep sleep.
Awesome. Great. Thank you, Vivian. And now we have Maya Occhiogrosso from Coopertown Elementary School. Our third place winner is going to read MLK.
He was 39 when he died. Lots of people cried. If he lived, he'd be 91. We wish his life had not been done. At the time, he couldn't eat where he wanted, sit where he wanted, learn where he wanted. But he had a dream. It was simple, to be treated fair. He wanted everyone to care. His dream is now real. Now we all feel together.
Great. So we also had several honorable mentions this year in the elementary level, and so we're going to read those as well. Emily Lornig, I think, correct me if I have mispronounced that, is going to read How to Catch a Unicorn.
How to catch a unicorn. How do you catch a unicorn? First, you'll need to gain trust. I would try some pixie dust. Then you'll need a butterfly's wing or maybe a harp string. A blossom off a cherry tree with a bit of lemon tea and some honey would be a guarantee. Then a unicorn you might see. Wait 10 hours for it to brew, mash it up in a steamy stew, pour it out on a trail in hopes that it will not fail. But the unicorn might be mad, could throw a tantrum and be really sad. So please don't catch a unicorn for your life.
Thank you very much. Mila Pride from Cheswold Elementary is going to read Black Beauty.
Go ahead. Tell them the last line is all.
So you guys could read along, but like, the last line was like, it wasn't printed on the paper, so yeah.
Oh, so sorry about that.
The whole last stanza, actually. Go ahead, result.
Our skin was so beautiful, as rich as can be, all different shades of colors and also happily free. Our skin was gold with touches of bronze. It sparkled in the sun. We loved to play and explore the wild and created lots of fun. But then savages came. They took us from our home. They locked us up and made us slaves, made us lose our hope. Our skin faded to gray, arriving on this land. Was this their terrible plot? Was this their evil plan? But then some things got better. We got some freedoms, but not all. They called it segregation, the world divided by a wall. We were still treated poorly, blacks separated from whites. We had separate schools and houses, completely separate lives. But then we started fighting back, like MLK Jr. and others. We fought and fought until we won, united as sisters and brothers. Now there is hope in the world because, as you can see, we now have businesses and jobs and are employed gainfully. Our color is just beginning to return, despite some people's fear. The gray is beginning to fade. The age of brown is here.
Thank you very much. We have, and again, I'm sorry about missing that last stanza. We have Asher Barone, who's going to read Blue.
Blue is inside me, like the core of the earth, like the interior of a cottage, like the heart of an animal, like the center of the multiverse. Endless, countless, unnumbered, multifarious. Blue is inside me like the endless clear sky, like the crashing of waves, like the cunning of a fox, like the intelligence of a crow, like the trust of a lion, like the confidence of a bull, like the loyalty of a swan. Blue is inside me. It boils, it seethes, it simmers, it fizzes, it sparkles. Blue sparkles inside me, like boiling water on the stove, like slippery ice on the streets, like water in the I don't want to get out of bed fraction of the day, like a snowflake in a super, super, super close-up image, captured in the daylight, called on a palm before it melts away into nothingness, void, oblivion, non-being, blue.
Great, thank you so much. And our last elementary school winner is Yale Gardner, and Yale's going to read The Terror That Is My Life.
I spend my nights stuffed in an undersized box amidst my brothers and sisters. We are 30 in a box made for 24. At 9 o'clock, the children come rushing in. The small children, the ones I have nightmares about. They come in and take us out of our box. The box was more like a gaping black hole. They snap us into pieces. They throw us at other children. They rip off our clothes until we're naked. I wish I was like pink or blue or green, everyone's favorite, popular, loved. But they are short and blunt, naked and broken. I wish I was like brown or black or gray, tall and sharp, clothed and unbroken. But no one uses them, except for tree bark or storm clouds. I guess I'm happy being me, used for smiling suns and smiling faces, blunt but tall, naked but unbroken, because, after all, I am yellow.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much to all the elementary school winners. Really, they were, the elementary poems in particular, I really enjoyed reading this year. Now we have the teen division, and we'll begin with our first place winner in the teen division, who's Emma Karn from Sacred Heart Academy, and Emma will be reading The Station.
The clouds are masked behind the sun, like children at a door who listen for the whispers of their parents. They make ridges in a sky crisscrossed by electric wires. A train pulls into the station, then away, traveling towards the clouds as if drawn by a magnet. A few lights flick harsh orange against the tense, darkening sky. I perch on the platform stoop, book in my lap, pen in my hand. Clouds drip onto the paper. Ink pools in a raindrop. Black veins spread the surface of the page and it blurs. It doesn't matter. I can see the words behind my eyes when I shut them tight. And when I can see the clouds themselves, I have no need of words.
Thank you so much. Our second place winner was Lindsay Kent from Radnor High School, and Lindsay is reading Things That Last Forever.
The coral Mom painted 3 summers and 2 hurricanes ago collapses. Calcium carbonate skeletons falling on themselves. Google tells me we are producing more CO2 than change. Salt slick waves are becoming acidic. Essentially, we are boiling water into vein. My mom tells me nothing lasts forever. She loves only in retrospect, and most days I am no different. Only her plastic souvenir, glossy dolphin figurine, is still buried beneath junk mail. She says Dad gave it to her 17 years, and it's still as good as new.
Very good, thank you. And our honorable mention in the teen division is Ali Hakepel from Haverford High School. And I'm sorry, Eli, forgive me. And Eli is going to read Not Sorry to Be Obnoxious.
Yes, this is Eli's mom, Eli Hakepel, wrote this poem.
Oh, thank you.
Not sorry to be obnoxious, but the air is getting heavy, feeling a little nauseous. I can see the stuff I'm supposed to breathe. It's looking pretty noxious. But hey, the rising ocean means more. Not to us, not to us, not to us. Not sorry to be obnoxious. Kids in school are getting shot. Government doesn't give a cut. They say stay in your lane. They act so pretentious. They're not afraid. They do what they want. Not us, not us, not us. Not sorry to be obnoxious. People working 3 jobs to stay on top. Can't sleep in bed. They sleep on the bus. Self-made billionaires tell them to work harder, sitting in their chairs like a fat puss. Not us, not us, not us. Not sorry to be obnoxious, but we're protesting in the streets. The government calls us treasonous. We're just asking for our unalienable rights, while Prez's checks are getting superfluous. Not us, not us, not us. Not sorry to be obnoxious, but the workers want to unionize. Lack of health care leaves them leaking pus. They have kids that want to get a degree, who shouldn't be praying to die on campus. Not us, not us, not us. Not sorry to be obnoxious, but you're doing it wrong. Kids are kicking up a fuss, trying to fix your mistakes, sitting in the school bus. Even when we're laughing, dancing, having fun, doom is stuck in our subconscious. You say there's nothing you can do, but the solution is not amorphous. Not to us, not to us, not to us. You mock us for being young and scared. How can we make you conscious? We have to make a stand, look you in the eye. We have to act ferocious. That's us, that's us, that's us.
Diane, unmute.
Am I unmuted? Sorry, thought I was unmuted. Thank you very much. That was great. Our final category is our adult category, and we're going to hear first from our first place winner, Beth Greenspan, and Beth will be reading Stream.
Can you hear me
Beth?
okay?
There you go, now we can.
Volume is okay? I have a horrible Zoom setup, I apologize. stream. She takes me to the stream, hoping a reason to live is there. I could only stare past the clear surface as words and thought run away on the edge of each ripple, fragments of mine scattering, dissipating, bobbing over moss-bearded pebbles, and the bubbles whisper and wait for every woe to float by and be washed away in the slow tumbling churn. We sit silently looking down, and I escape into small muddy caverns under larger rocks resting in the reflecting stream. I begin to de-evolve, becoming primitive, remaining hidden, still, for what is left of eternity below the forever changing water and world.
Great, thank you very much. Our second place winner is Katherine Pfotenhauer, and Katherine will be reading Alternative Universe in Which There Are No Voices.
Alternate Universe in Which There Are No Voices, after Melissa Lozada Oliva and Olivia Gatwood. Here I am hushed. The country of my mouth quiets. No one knows I've gone. I am the sole porter of my soft palate, and in this world the operator has no tongue. The phone wires cross themselves, and the apparatus rings and rings over the space where your laugh should be. The empty air trips, the air skips, and as the answering machine spins, there is only the unsound to greet me. Your words crumble in their case. As you can't promise things anymore, your words collapse on themselves. The castle we built falls, and the fall is pathetic. You blame the shaky foundation. This is why I am inclined to agree. I am not flying to Boston. I am moving away from you. I am not flying to St. Louis. I am painting my walls of blue. I am only giving you temporary haven. Your fingers are left to catch the lines I leave behind, the corner of my hem, the thread unspooling. Every love song tangles a dream into your hand, every dream reduced to melody, a reality in which I trust you, and you are not leaving completely. You never leave messages saying, I'm sorry, without expecting forgiveness.
Awesome, thank you so much. And we have two honorable mentions in the adult category. Our first is Stephen Sittenfield reading The Last Cobbler. Stephen?
The Last Cobbler. It's time, my loyal last. As the days went by, you came to know my footfalls, accommodate my whims, and I thought your weathered stains were character. Heels I often repaired, but now you've lost your soul. The last cobbler I knew shut his doors. He had 3 extra chairs for his barmaids. I thought they retired at someone else's choice, but he said, for years I was waiting for a buyer. I thought, how could he leave this Coliseum of the injured, the recovering, the other unclaimed veterans, the polishes of the brown rainbow, the laces, the sprays I didn't know I needed, vintage prices penned in forgotten years, ages told like rings of a felled tree, yet no seed, no sapling.
Thank you so much. And our final reader of this afternoon, our final honorable mention in the adult category is Abigail Sember, reading The Road by the Sea.
Thanks. In a faraway land, an old man rides a bicycle down a dusty road. Everything balanced, maybe by his wisdom we surmise, and balance with the universe, rather than physics known to man. For he had fish tanks, yams, sculptures of glass, bananas pitching gently side to side, the whole contraption undulating so one could almost rock a baby on this way. And he, one knee after the next, pedaling, chewing, singing, a song probably written 10,000 years hence. Is this the very quiver that keeps all of life sustained, the whole thing, bells and whistles, nothing but amplification of this simple rocking, swaying, perilous rhythmic tilting on a lumpy path. And we, new, young, sexy, fast and sleek and modern, the sunlight gleaming on the motorbike's bright yellow sheen and off the precious metals shackling our wrists. The wind is in our hair, and the salty vapor stirred up from the sea as we fly by adds the final seasoning to the smell that I breathe in, holding onto him for life. And I wonder, is that a smell he bought somewhere? Perhaps from the sorcerer in the corner of the bazaar, who summoned all the spices of antiquity and conjured them into a bottle? Or is that the smell he came with, embalmed in him since we emerged from dust? We skirt wide, the deep respect of young for old, young and in love with life and everything that's ever been. The same reverence with which, pulled over at a roadside temple, we each bowed deeply, pressed our heads and cheeks along the cold tile floor, not knowing quite what this God does for everybody else, but we sure know what he has done for us. Just plucked us for a blessing, as if we were the fattest flowers on a frothing vine. We give the man his space, not just for his sake, but for all. For what if our fate, too, be balanced atop the mast amongst his other wares? We smile at him kindly, thinking him old, but we, in fact, are older. For which was invented first, the bicycle or the magic carpet?
Very good.
Great. Thank you so much, Abby. Well, I before I pass it back to Jackie for some closing remarks, I just want to say how much I really enjoyed both reading all the poems when they first came in and hearing our winners read their own poems. It brings a special voice to the poem to hear the author read it. And Eli's mom, I'm sure, was careful to represent Eli as well. I thank her for being here. And we wish Eli a speedy recovery. With that, I just want to say thank you very much for your support of the Ardmore Library with your submissions, and we hope that you'll submit a poem again next year for our poetry contest. So Jackie, anything you'd like to say?
Well, sure. I think that an event like this needs to acknowledge the importance of our judges. They deserve kudos for the care and devotion that they gave to each poem. Peter Norberg, our judge for the adult category, is a professor of English as well as an associate provost at St. Joe's. Kathleen Cullen, the teen division judge, is the Montgomery County's 2019 Poet Laureate. A painter, poet, and teacher, she is also the founder of We the Poets, which brings poetry workshops to diverse student populations in over 70 schools in the Philadelphia area. Ronit Engel, our judge for the Children's Division, is the undergraduate director of Jewish Studies at the University of Pennsylvania, with degrees in Bible, Hebrew literature, Hebrew language and education from Tel Aviv University. Ms. Engel began her teaching career at the prestigious Lycée Alliance Israelite Universelle in Tel Aviv. Thank you, please. And Ronit, I see you're there, and hello, and thank you. Ronit messaged the boys and girls in the children's division to say how much she enjoyed hearing the poems being read by the poets themselves. Again, thank you all for sharing your words. Thank you all to the parents, friends, and teachers. And I know there was at least one teacher on. I saw some texts. Please continue to read and write poems. Please consider entering the contest once again next year and share the fun that it is to read your poems for the public. I would love to see more and more people participate every year. A big thank you to the Miller family, to Christina and Jonathan. This event was recorded, is recorded, and will be posted on our library's website. Please tell your family and friends. We will be posting details for the next year's poetry contest on our library's website this November. Keep writing, keep reading, and we look forward to reading and sharing your poems next year. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so very much.